Hi Teresa, it's me, Trudy Lee. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good today. I don't know if you watched my last video. I said we sold our boat. So today I was going to get up early and get all my readings done. And my husband said we have a 9 o'clock appointment to sell the boat. I bought him that boat last year. I don't know if you remember, on his birthday. And so I financed it. It's in my name, but I'm making the payments because it's his birthday present. And do you know campers, boats, and everything? They're going like crazy. I mean, they are selling like crazy. And we were looking at the prices of boats, and they've gone up so much. And my husband, we went out on the boat Friday, and then Saturday, he said, "You know what? I'm gonna try to see how much I can get for this boat." We bought that boat for $7,500, and he said, I'm going to sell it. I don't know where this came from, but this man, he's a Gemini, and he can change like that in a second. And this is a beautiful boat that he loves. So he said, "I'm gonna sell it for 10,000. I think I'll put it up for 12,000." And then he said, "No, I'm gonna put it up for $14,000." We sold that boat in like 15 minutes. We sold that boat for $14,000. Didn't ask us to go down a penny at all. We had 2,000 people ask us for that boat. 2,000. So I doubled my money on it. I got all my money back on that boat. So I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Our payoff was like, $6,000 or something, and then we got the rest of the money. So we put some money in our bank. We're not working right now, so we have a little padding. We haven't gone back to work. We work in the convention centers, and they've not really opened up yet. The kind of work we do, we're not being able to do it right now. So thank you for asking me to do a reading for you because I need to work. I have had several readings today, so it's good. I'm doing well. Okay, so that's enough about me. We're going to focus on you now, okay? Teresa, the cat lady, all your cute little kitties. I've enjoyed seeing your pictures of them and all the little crazy things they do. My daughter is a cat lady too. She's my middle child. She has 4 cats and 2 dogs. Yeah, and they all live in her house. Yeah. One of the cats is relatively new. Her cats are old. I think her oldest cat is like, gosh, might be 18 years old. It's pretty old, but he looks really good. And then she's got one that's 12, and one that's 14, something like that. So she's had them for a long time. And then she has a newcomer that she's had for like 4 or 5 years. And this cat goes in and out. She found it outside, and it loves to go outside. It's the only cat that's allowed to go in and out. And the other cats hate it. They hate that cat. It's a killer. It brings all kinds of dead animals to her doorstep. Loves to go hunt. It even brought her a baby possum the other day. It was so sad. So sweet little baby possum. Anyway, so kitties are fun and exciting. So what you wanted to know, Teresa, is how to distinguish your inner voice from, your own mind's voice from your guide's voice, right? So before I turned on the camera, I was asking Spirit about that. I mean, I know what basically I could tell you, but I really want to get this from Spirit. And Spirit is telling me one thing. I have something over here and I didn't even realize it. And I think you have a pendulum. I thought I had one. I have them in a bag here. Have pendulums. Now, I think you have a pendulum, and you can use your pendulum, and you can ask questions with your pendulum, questions that you know the answers to, okay? You know the answer to it, so you could ask questions with your pendulum, get the yes and no. You know how to do that, right? You get a yes and a no, and by saying, "Are my eyes blue?" Yes, no. You already know the answer, so you'll figure out which way it's swinging for yes and for no. And then start establishing a rapport through your pendulum. Once you do that, you can start asking questions that you don't know answers to. But before you do the pendulum, listen and see if you can get an answer from your guides, and then do the pendulum and see what that sounded like, how you heard that. Now, you know how it is when you can have a memory of sound. You know what I mean? So it's just like that. It's a memory of sound. It could also just be a thought that comes into your head. So it's just a thought and not, I mean, some psychics I know, some people, channelers and all, they actually hear a voice. They can actually hear it and it sounds loud to them. But it could just be a thought that's channeled in. And let me tell you, another thing Spirit is telling me to tell you is things that are inspirational. You know what I mean? They're inspirational. That is a lot of time put there by your guides to guide you and to help you. So when you get a thought that's inspirational, you're like, that's a good idea. Did you come up with that or did Spirit put it there? So Spirit is telling me to tell you that that is from Spirit. So when you get an inspirational thought, not that you don't have good inspirational thoughts on your own, but a lot of time you're getting help. So you ask for help, ask for Spirit to give you some guidance and some help, and you come up with an inspirational idea, you'll know you were guided by Spirit. So you can try, just keep doing exercises like this. Ground yourself, you know how to ground yourself by taking all your energy and focusing and putting it down through your feet. Let it go all the way down into Mother Earth and then bring it back up into your body. And that's grounding yourself, and you'll leave behind anything that's not wanted, not needed, any kind of energy that you're not using and you don't need to have to carry around with you. Okay. I don't like to say negative energy, but it could be negative energy you can drop off there. So that's what grounding is. I do that every time I'm doing a reading. I'll do 3 times. I'll ground myself 3 times. Also, there's rituals that you can do to help you get more focused, So you'll say a prayer before you start doing any of your intentions, You want to talk to your guides. First, you begin with the prayer. I say, please help me hear, see, think, and feel true divine guidance. Please guide my reading in the light. Let it be specific and helpful to the person I'm reading. Show me how I may serve. Okay, so you say some kind of prayer like that to open up and ask to, you be able to understand and hear, just actually understand what you're getting. Okay. All right. So another thing, what else? Sometimes this is what happens. Another thing you can do, I'm getting so much information. It's so hard to get it all out to you. Things are coming like this, like this, like this. They're giving me so much. Y'all slow down, slow down. You can write. Ask a question and start writing. Ask a question to your spirit guides. Think about it for a second and start writing. You will write down an answer. Put that paper aside. You won't even remember what you wrote down. You have to go look at it. You're like, what did I get? That is a sign that it's not from you, it's from the outside. You know what I mean? You get all these thoughts, and you write them down, write them down, write them down. And if you walk away, you'll forget about it. It's like a dream and you forgot about it. That's how it happens for me. I will get so much information coming in so quickly that I have to write it down or I won't remember what's coming in. It just starts flowing in, flowing in. And everybody's different and it depends on you're the vessel, you're all the experience that you've had make up you. So how spirit will relate to you will be on your level. That's your filter. So you won't get what I get. You understand? You could get in your thoughts, you could get it like a cat meme doing something crazy that'll make sense to you if you get this picture, this vision of a cat doing something or another, you know what I mean? So it means something different to you than it means to me. And spirit knows you. They know your mind, they know your experience, they know your filter, and they will get to you and make sense to you in a way that you'll be able to understand. And a lot of times, I do get some visions, like when I'm connecting with other people, I will get visions of maybe what's going on in their life. And I might not completely understand it, but it's I can tell them about it and they can understand it. It's not always important for me to understand it. So that's the thing about helping other people. It's not always important for you to be able to put all the pieces together. It's you to relate information to another person and let them put the pieces together for themselves. Because ultimately, you can't, people have free will. You can't make choices or try to influence their decisions. Understand? So, what you'll do is, I'm getting this information. This is what it is. I'm not going to try to make sense out of it. That's your job. So that's how you help other people, because this is their life. This is what they've come here to learn, and they've come here to this life to live it for a reason. So it's their decision. So that's one way that will help you if you get to the point where you're able to help others. You don't have to understand everything. Okay. They don't even understand everything. We're not allowed to see the big picture on everything, but you can see, what's going on. You can feel their energy. You'll be able to see whatever you can. You know what I mean? Whatever you're allowed to see. So just know that sometimes people will ask you something, you're just not allowed to see it. You're not allowed. There's some things going on, like a lot of the things going on with Trump and his administration and everything. We ask a lot of questions. There's some things we're not allowed to see. We're just not allowed. Plus, there's that free will factor, that can change everything. So you can read the energy up to a certain point, and then there's free will, and then everything goes to hell, you know? So people can change things. And that's what's going on throughout the country with all these demonstrations and everything. People are changing things because they're coming all together, and that makes it strong, really, really strong. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. Just, it's whatever you focus on grows. So if that's what you want to do, you want to be able to practice listening to your guide's voice and understanding. Just keep practicing, keep practicing. You might not hear it with your ears, but you can get visions. I think you might have said you think you're hearing a voice, right? So I would say, if you're hearing a voice, surely it's from the outside. But remember, you'll be inspired. That gives you a lot of confidence. When you feel inspiration, that's your guides. And also you can use your pendulum, and that'll give you more confidence, that you're hearing the right thing. Okay, my husband, I can hear him talking on the phone. He may just bust in here. Might have to put it on pause for a minute. Okay, next question you had was about dealing with anxiety and fear, right? How do you deal with anxiety and fear? There are a lot of people that are, have an abundance of anxiety, and that it causes panic attacks and things like that. I don't know if you have them. A lot of times this is a crescendo of hormones. That's what I'm getting. You know what I mean? It's like one thing sets it off, and it's like a domino effect, and it all drops off. I used to have panic attacks. I did get them for a little while, and I stopped them. I said, I ain't doing this shit no more. I'm not. Let me tell you, it's the worst thing in the world to have a panic attack. It's horrible, horrible feeling. I had about 3 of them. I went to the hospital a couple of times. I went to the hospital like twice. Now there's things I found out that set it off, and I don't know. Once I really identified it, it stopped, and I said, I'm not doing this shit no more. Also, I was going through menopause. I was at the beginning of menopause, but this happened in a very compact time, like within a few months, like 2 or 3 months. This happened. So you go through menopause. You go through menopause for years and years and years. But this I went through this for about 3 months, and I had such a horrible panic attack that my whole body was shaking. My thighs were quaking. I say quaking, I mean quaking. I could barely stand up. I was shaking so bad, and I did not know what was wrong with me. It scared me to death. This happened like 8 years ago, about 8 years ago. It was terrible. So I know how it feels to have a panic attack and anxiety. And if you've had a panic attack and then you're worried about having another one, it can cause so much anxiety and stress just worrying about having another attack. My husband went to Iran at that time, right after that situation with me happened. And I couldn't get on an airplane. I was like, what if I have a panic attack on an airplane? I could not. I couldn't even fathom going. I mean, can you imagine going in a plane and riding, that many hours? We have to change planes like 2 or 3 times, it probably 3 times. And I don't think so. Having a layover and all that, I was like, not having it. I could probably do it. I can do it now. I could do it now, but back then, I told him, and he wanted me to go with him. I was like, sorry, that ain't gonna happen. So I know how it feels, but how do you deal with it? Well, I dealt with it. I Like I said, I decided I wasn't gonna have them anymore. I made a decision. I'm like, this ain't happening no more. I ain't dealing with this. So that was one thing. And I had, it seemed like for me, a lot of things led up to it. You know what I mean? I used to have going in an elevator. I don't know what happened, but I started getting very squeamish about elevators. We used to have a business, and we had elevators in our business. We were on the fourth floor in a bank building, and we rode the elevator all the time. And sometimes I would take the stairs just to get exercise, but that's just because I wanted exercise. Didn't bother me a bit. And as a matter of fact, this lady that we used to do business with, she would always have to be escorted on the elevator. She couldn't get out on the elevator by herself because she was very fearful of it. And I would always walk her downstairs. I would, take her on the elevator myself. And I'd come back by myself. I wasn't worried. And all of a sudden, I started getting this fear of an elevator. Now, let me tell you what this is about. In past lives, there are things that you went through that, believe it or not, you carry cell memory with you. And there comes a point in your life, this could be something that happened in my life at that age where this came about. And I was in my 40s at that time, that maybe I was, caged or something like that. Maybe I was put in prison or something and caged into a small area, or I was put in a small area. Something happened to me in a past life that caused this anxiety. I have another thing in a past life that I died off a bridge, and I was a young child, and I died falling off a bridge, And when I was a little kid, I couldn't go across bridges. I just could not. I would just scream and cry. I was real little, really little, and I would throw myself on the floorboard and everything and scream and cry. And it passed. It just passed, Everybody thought I was a nut. We're not going to go across the bridge, Trudy. That's what my mother would be in the car. We'd go for Sunday drives, go get an ice cream cone and go for a Sunday drive. And I would be miserable because I know we're going to go across a bridge. We lived in Houston, and we would go like to Galveston, and you have to go across the causeway. I couldn't stand it. I would be crying, and I'd throw myself on the floor, and I wouldn't look out of the car, nothing. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, so this is, past life memories that we bring in with us. We have cell memory from everything, believe it or not. So once you kind of realize that, once you look at that and say, oh, this is a past life memory, I'm having this anxiety, I'm having this fear from a past life. It's not serving me in this life, and I don't need it. So that fear and that anxiety, once you identify it and you look at it from a different point of view, it changes things around. It really, really does. And I was going to say, I changed my diet too. There was things I did not eat and would not eat because I felt that it had something to do with like that cascade effect of the panic attack. I felt like it started it and it went off from there. So let's say if I had something real sugary for breakfast, it started a cascade of going downhill for the rest of the day until it would spiral into a big old panic attack. So once I started identifying those things, I stopped doing them. I will not eat sugar in the morning. No way, no price, no how. I don't do it. I don't do it anymore. Now, of course, I love sugar. I love ice cream. I have ice cream in the freezer right now, and it's calling my name. You know how that is. I can barely sleep. I always tell my friend, she has a big old freezer full of ice cream, and she's like, I have this flavor, this flavor. I'm like, how do you sleep? You got that, and you have to go eat it. I'm a terrible sweet tooth, but I had to learn my lesson on that. So that's how I deal with it, and you just have to identify it. Just tell yourself, have a talk with yourself, with your guides, pray and say, this isn't serving me in my life now. It may have had in another life, that fear and anxiety served you for a reason, but you don't need it in this life. You're done with it. You don't need it anymore. I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to stop this. I ain't doing this anymore. And that's what I did. I went to the hospital and I was in there. I was about ready to see the doctor. And all of a sudden it was gone. It was gone. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to the hospital anymore. I'm not doing it. And I walked out of there and they said, don't you want to see the doctor? And I said, nope, I don't. Bye. I left. They were like, okay, crazy lady. All right. So that's my, I'm getting that. The guides are, telling me, using me and part of my experience to help you. Okay. So, all right. I'm gonna look at the cards, and you've been getting a spiritual reading from me, but I'm gonna take a look at the cards and do a real quick little reading for you about your being able to help others. Will you be able to help others? So this is Teresa. What can I tell Teresa about helping others? What's going on with her? Is there some information that I can pass along to Teresa? Let's see. This is for Teresa. And I'm going to get you an angel card too. All right. Let's get you an angel card too. This is for Teresa. Is she going to be able to help people? What can I tell her? Any information for Teresa? Well, I think it looks pretty good. Okay. Sorry, I'd like to shuffle the cards and then turn on the camera. Sometimes I do that in the readings online, my YouTube readings, because it takes so much time. You see how much time it's taken? I'm sorry. I'm going to get you an angel card. This is for Teresa, angels. What you got for Teresa, dear angels? What do you got for her? Let's see. Okay. This is the card that came out. Divine Order. Let me read it to you. Archangel Raguel. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see the underlying order. So, sometimes people are like, oh my God, there's all kinds of crap happening. I don't know what's going on. It's so crappy and I don't know how to handle the situation. Everything's happening as it should. So that's what the angels want you to know, that even though you may think some things shouldn't be happening, or why are things happening the way they are, they're happening as they should. So you have no worries, basically. Okay? Everything's okay. Everything's fine. and happening as it should. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at the cards for you. And the first card that comes up here is the Emperor. So I'm asking about, will you be able to someday, help others? And this is telling you that for you to be able to do that, you really have to stick with the program. You really have to, be really firm with, like if you want to do the tarot, you have to study the cards. You know what I mean? You have to gain knowledge, a little bit more knowledge to be able to do that. Now, I don't know if you have studied them or not, but that's the first thing you have to do. So you have to give your time, your attention. You have to gather knowledge to do this. And you just really have to be devoted to want to do it, basically. Okay. And it takes, I don't know, it just takes, this guy is all about being like very stern. You got to very focused. I guess that's what it is. It's very focused. You got to be very, very focused, and really decide that's what you want to do. So when you focus on something, it grows, right? So that's what you have to do. You have to gain knowledge about what it is you want to do. So there's many ways to help people. You can do healing. You can do readings like that. There's many ways of focusing on helping people. Once you decide how you'd like to pursue that, then you gather as much knowledge as you can. Okay, that's what, and then focus on that knowledge. So if you'd like to go into healing, you can go start with YouTube videos and watch all kinds of healing videos. How you can do that, there's Reiki and many different things that you can learn. So that's what this is all about, learning and moving forward. Now, crossing over that card is the Death card. So that means, to me, things will all change for you. Everything is going to change in a big way. So the way that you've been doing things and the way that what you have been focusing on is going to all change. Now, a big dramatic change will come in your life. The reason why it's a Death card is because it's something you didn't foresee. There's a big, huge change that will come. It'll start a new beginning for you. But it's sometimes when change comes on suddenly, and this is sudden, it's uncomfortable. That's what the Death card is all about. Is having, it's change that's not comfortable. Anyway, who likes change? No, I mean, unless you were wanting to change something like I'm going to change my furniture or I'm going to get something new. That's the kind of change we like. But when change is just put upon us, like, hey, you got to change something. It's not comfortable. So that's just kind of reflecting that kind of change. So you don't see it coming, and here it is, change. Okay, so, but go with the flow. When a big thing hits you like that, and all of a sudden your life feels like it's changing, everything's changing, the more you resist that change, the harder it's going to be for you. So big changes come, just go with the flow. Everything's going to work out okay. Don't worry about it. And know that it's for the better of you. Put it that way, okay? All right. Overlooking that situation there is the Knight of Cups. So this is like an opportunity that will be open to you, okay? So somebody may come up with a good idea. They may say, hey, you could go do this, or I saw this, or there's a class opening up here and you can take this online, something like that. So there's an opportunity that will come available to you that you'll be able to focus on the things that you want to do. So that's good. So you want to, be able to help other people. You'll have that opportunity to learn how to do that. I like seeing that. Okay. And the outcome is Queen of Pentacles. So yes, you're going to be able to, you'll be inspired to help people, and you will be able to help people. And you've been able to help people, believe it or not. You're already helping people. There's things that you do that you don't even understand touches other people's lives. but it's kind of like you've been helped in the past too. And I feel like this is a person that's helped you. This person's helped you in many different ways. This could be your mother, I think. She's the foundation of your life, because she's the foundation of the reading right here. So this is just telling me that she's got your back. She would help you. She would do anything for you, really. Um, she's like in your corner, and she would even help you, with the money situation if you needed. She would do anything for you. Okay, so this tells me you've got that like generosity gene flowing through you. Your mom's the kind of person that she would help you and do anything, and you in turn are the kind of person that would help do anything for people also. So I do feel like you will be able to help other people because you have that spirit in you from your mom that you know good to know. And your mom can guide you too. That's usually a kind of a guidance card too. So your mother would and is helping you, and she's a good sounding board for you to get information and guidance from. What do you think about this, mom? Would this be a good idea? She's a good sounding board for you. Is she still there with you? I wonder. Or you can talk to her about these things. Hopefully I can't talk to my mother about anything spiritual at all. Not at all. We were sent to Sunday school, Baptist Sunday school, and we went to church, but my mother didn't go to church. She went to church a few times here and there, but mostly it was just she had 5 kids in the house, and the Sunday school bus would come on Sundays and pick us all up and take us, and she'd be like, bye. See y'all later. I'm having a Sunday off. You know what I mean? And we didn't want to go. We're like, we don't want to go. And I did make my kids go to Sunday school for a very short time just to give them that experience because they needed it. And I thought they should be exposed to the church and, the Bible and everything. So they did go to church, but they are spiritual people like I am. They're more like me. I did force them at that time, but we had just moved here to San Antonio, and my husband was still working in Houston. So on the weekends, he drove back to Houston to work, and he would work here during the week in San Antonio. So on the weekends, he wasn't there. He wouldn't ever let me make them go to church. He would say, they don't have to go to church. They don't want to. And I really felt like they needed that experience. And he wasn't there. So I would be like, y'all are going to church now. Get ready. So at least they have that experience, their children never went to church. My kids, they've never made their children go to church at all. And they only went to church a little while, a couple of months maybe at the most. So they have had not that much. Anyway, I don't know how I got off on that, but it's funny. So we are all our experiences, And my husband, he was raised Muslim. I was raised a Baptist, but hey, we feel like we're just spiritual people. We don't really have a religion. Of course, he's got a little Muslim swing to him, and I have a Christian swing to me. So, but he eats ham, pork, and everything. He's not like, a Muslim. But he does have a few Muslim things about him. He may want to be buried in a Muslim way. They're buried without a coffin. But he said, you can bury me in a plain pine box, a brown little one. I tell him, I'm burning you. I'm so mean. I just try to get his goat. I tell him, I'm just going to burn you. I'm not going to waste no money on a box. Are you kidding me? And if Muslims, they believe you have to be buried within 24 hours of dying, and you have to have the body in the dirt. You know what I mean? It has to be facing to Mecca, all kinds of crap. He don't believe in none of that. And he's told me, if you really want to cremate me, you can. I don't know if I could do that because he's a little bit appalled by it. But I want to be cremated. I don't see why I should take up any more, room in this world after I'm gone. I don't need to, be buried I don't even want to be in a coffin. Oh. Anyway, All right, Teresa, I'm talking too much, girl. I'm talking 35 minutes now. You take care. Thank you for asking me to do your reading. I hope this helped you. And let me know if I can answer any of your other questions, okay? Love you. You take care. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.